It just said off air. Right?
Oh yeah. Thanks, Sam. Hi. Hi guys. Welcome to
Hi.
our Google Hangout. I'm sorry. I had a bland moment. I had a bland 10 minutes. So this is our Google Hangout with Rachael O'Brien, and we have Tom verbroekken here as well. He's our IT guy. Nothing would be going live only for Tom. And the topic is what if money had your back? So I've got Rachael O'Brien here. She's an access consciousness facilitator. She is a phenomenal body worker, by the way. And she's a Pilates teacher and, amongst other things, a personal coach, life coach, everything. She covers everything. So Rachel's going to talk to us today about the topic of money and what if money had your back. And I'm just going to say, look, I'm doing this workbook with Rachael for the last, when did we start? 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, and it's based on the tools of access consciousness, and it's called How to Become Money. And I've been looking at the area of money for the last, there she is modeling it. I've been looking at money for the last 3 years with the tools of access, and this workbook is unraveling so much for me. So this is where all these topics are kind of coming up for at the moment. And last week Rachael was talking about what if money had your back, and this energy is something I've never had. I've never had the energy of knowing that money had my back. For me, money has always been struggle, had it, lost it, have it, lost it, and never ever felt that money had my back, or never even trusted it, and always felt like money was outside of me. So do you want to talk, Rach,
Yeah,
about
so
the energy of money having your back?
I suppose the reason that I'm doing the Hangout is I also was programmed with a lot of points of views around money, and my life was based on compromise. In other words, I wasn't receiving my life. I had a lot of things that I had to do in order to create money. So that created, that was not fun for me. It was not joy, and there was a lot of what I had to be and had to do. So when I asked the question, what if you knew money had your back, or what if money had your back? Like, just in Access, the tools that I talk about tonight are Access consciousness tools, and what's true is light, and what's heavy is a lie. So just right now, what's it? What is it? What's that energy delivering to your body? And just tap in with your own bodies and hang out. What if money actually had your back? Now, can you perceive a world where everyone actually knew money had their back? Where we all, the three of us on the Hangout tonight, have unique talents and unique capacities and unique abilities. We deliver very different energies. So what if we were willing to acknowledge that everyone has a unique talent and capacity and a way of creating money? And what if it was fun?
That's so nice. I so needed to hear this today. I work in a restaurant in America, in Florida, and like Sunday is like one of the worst days for me because Saturday night it's manic station in there, and we have like we work for tips, so we work for our own tips, and it's really like it's survival of the fittest, like, you know, and it's very aggressive in there.
You're breaking up really badly, Aim.
Am I?
Yeah, you're breaking up really badly, darling.
Okay, you talk, Rach, so your reception's better.
Is my reception bad?
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you fine too, Amy.
Okay. I was just saying that like that energy in the restaurant is really apparent of that, like everybody's just trying to make money for themselves and like competing with each other, and it's very like it's hard, it's harsh, and it's there's no like it's just it's yeah it's like there's the money is separate, like everybody's just surviving, you know, and fighting to make money. There's no energy of money having your back there.
No. And can you? I'm just checking. Can you hear me? Because I'm not sure whether it's the
I can hear you perfect, Rach.
Can you hear
perfectly.
me?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. So you've said it. They're the points of views that we take in. So those points of views are a complete limitation and the parameters around which we create money. I have to, this whole competition, I have to be better than you to make more money than you.
Mhm.
Where's actually the support of money in that and the planet? Like everything in this planet has abundance. Everything works synergistically together. Everything creates in every moment. Everything supports. Everything lives. That's the energy that I'd like to deliver into the world, is that, hey, this might not be for you, this way of creation. If your life currently as it is and your finances are not working for you, I would suggest that there is a different way to live. The reason I know that is because I chose it and it works. I would suggest that there is a different way to live and there is a different way to create with ease. And for me, there are people showing up in my life. I have so much gratitude for you and for Tom, that we can actually come together and have no heaviness about money, talk openly that we do like to make money. Myself in the middle of creating a business at the moment, 21st, not in the middle, we are 21st century business, where we provide an online presence with people so that they can be seen online and increase their client flow and actually be present. Business is to make money. Like, for what reason would I not charge for my talents and capacities and put a price on my value? And in this world, that is made so wrong that I have to prove to you what I can do for you in order for you to pay me.
Yeah, and otherwise you have a really expensive hobby, you know?
Yeah, the cost to your body.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, Gary Douglas talks about like the cost of your life. Like, people talk about what is it the cost to live. If you don't look at your finances and create money, that for me, that's the cost of my life. If I'm not willing to actually like have money come into my life, and don't think that it has to be in paper. It can be in classes. It can be in this space that I'm in tonight. I didn't have to rent because I've been gifted the use of it. It's like it can be in so many places. Someone buys you a cup of coffee. For me, I would just, for anyone who hasn't worked with these tools tonight, I would just say, ask, hey, money, can you have my back, please? And what would that look like for you? Instead of putting all these erroneous points of views into paper, what if we weren't to do that anymore? What if we were like, hey, I'd really like to have more of you. What do I have to generate? What do I have to create? How can I invite money into my life? If you have a point of view that it's hard to make money, guess what?
It's hard to make money. You create that.
Exactly.
Your point of view creates your reality.
Yeah, and it like in this money workbook, I like, we took a class yesterday, and like the amount of stuckness in our body that the points of views that we take in create. There's one line in this book in every class. I actually have it underlined. It says, every point of view that you've created about money creates the limitations and the parameters for which you receive it. So every point of view, in other words, every thought, idea, belief, and emotion that you have created about money. Now, the only reason you've created it is you've taken on a cultural point of view, you've taken on your family's point of view, that if you're Irish, it's dirty and don't talk about it. What's the point of views in Netherlands, Tom?
We never would talk about money
So
in the first place. It was like, you don't even talk about money. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not allowed to talk about money. So it's like, if they're your points of views about money, how can you actually have, like, I would like money to be light and joyful. And how can that creates your limitations and parameters from which you receive it. And this book has a way of changing your life that I can't even verbalize into words. But what I can tell you is 3.5 years ago, I went through a separation, and I walked out of my home place with €80 in my back pocket. And I had no idea how I was going to create my life and what I was going to do, but I did know that it wasn't kind to me or the guy that I was living with to stay there, because we bought a house together for monetary reasons when the both of us were actually really unhappy together. And even Tom, is it okay to talk about you at the moment, Tom?
Sure.
So Tom is in a job at the moment that's not fun for him anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's like, hey, what is it that I can create? For me, I'd like to support him in actually creating something beyond that because I see how gifted he is. So what if we really knew that money had our back? Would we actually create together? Hey, can we do something together to create this? How come I get all happy and joyful when I ask that?
Yeah, it's like when you and me, Rach, create something together, or if we come together, even just to do a Google Hangout. It's so creative, it's so fun, it's so joyful. It's a total different energy. And then when I go work in the restaurant, it's like everyone for their own. It's the energies are so different. I'm like, where's all the support, you know? It's just interesting to see it, like the way different people function.
We've done classes and we've made like €1,000, and we were like,
So easily.
and it's never been in our world to look at the money. Here's your half, here's my half.
Yeah.
Woo! And we've been like so happy. There's not been any like we've just haven't had that any confrontation ever around that in our relationship, because we were always upfront. Hey, if we're going to do this class together, it'll be 50-50. If you're going to host me, it'll be 10% and you get your class. And the level of gratitude, I mean, even myself and Tom had to discuss money, how I was going to pay him for his services, what worked for him right now. I would like to support him to generate money, cash in his bank, so he can actually go on to what's next and what's going to create more ease from his life. How come it is when we function like that everything opens up and it becomes greater and we get happy?
Because it's the kingdom of we.
Yeah.
I mean, when we function and create from the kingdom of we all create together. We all have abundance. There is no competition. It's we. When people function, when we go into the kingdom of I, not enough, you know, like struggle, hardship, then we're creating lack. And that's what I see in the restaurant. I see so many people creating from the kingdom of I. There's no we there. It's I, me. And it's so Rach, just within that, like, what tools do you use in that? Because I know I already probably know what tools to use. It's like, because you already have your reality. You already know the kingdom of we. Yet everyone around you are functioning from the kingdom of I.
Well, the first is, what is it that you'd like to actually what is it that you would like your life to look like? I mean, for me, going down to a job that only looks after my wages and looks after what I require, that's boring. Would I have interest in being on this planet in 10 years' time? No, truly no. There is something magnificent when you're creating a greater space. Now, I'm not doing this solely because money. Money is the place that actually allows me to travel further, to do more, to travel with ease to my classes, to stay in a nice hotel when I deliver classes. You've got to get the reason that I'm doing this is because there are so many lies of money in this reality, and how can we do that to paper when it's not true? And everyone who's done the money workbook and looked at where they're functioning from, how they feel about it, what they think about it, what it tastes like, you know, how come their whole financial reality changes when they're willing to look at it and not function from lack and scarcity? And, you know, even when people create classes within Access, I'm like, I don't care whose classes people go to, once they go to the place that actually works for them.
That's so interesting. I've always had that point of view too. Like, you know, we've been like that since the start. We're like, we don't care whose class you go to. Just if you get your bars run and your life changes, just do it. Like, you don't have to come to my class. I just go get your bars run, go take classes, look at your points of views and let your life change. And I've always had that perspective. Competition, it doesn't come into my world. Yet when I see people function from competition, even in Access, it blows my world. I'm like, why? What the hell? The energy is just like, I don't know, It's not pretty.
Yeah, and truth, does it actually create more when you're willing to have co-creators and the magic? And what this is all about really is creating life from ease. And Tom, I really would like you to talk a little bit about what we have been creating with each other and the level of ease that's been in that.
Yeah, I mean, I sent you a message on Facebook because I saw you were coming to Rotterdam to give the money classes, and so I just thought, but I saw that you were coming to Rotterdam, but I had seen no promotion for it so far. So I was like, where's the Facebook page? You know, where can I sign up? What's going on there? And so I just sent Rachel a message basically saying like, you know, I can help you, you know, get started and get the promotion up. And that was just like, you know, like took me like 5 to 10 minutes to write. And then Rachel came back to me and she said, "Oh, that's, you know, that's a great idea. You know, we already had some things in the pipeline." And then you said, you know, "How much do you charge?" And I said, "Well, I'm just getting started, so I'm just doing it for free. You know, it's just who I am." And she said, "Oh, and I have some other ideas." And then we started to, then this idea of 21st century business came together, and that was created in the space of, I think, 2 hours
Yeah.
of just us talking on Skype, you know, generating ideas and putting it all together. I think it just, yeah, it was a conversation of about 2 hours, and that was it.
And he is willing to make money from our business. Money follows joy. You know, we are working on this project every night, and we are both willing. Like, are you willing to actually receive money? I mean, that's the first question you've got to ask yourself. We love creating. We do. Your body requires money. It requires massage. It requires time off. You require nice, nurturing food, nice, nurturing clothes. You know, that's just, we have taken on a body in this reality. We've come to live on this planet, and that body does actually require money. And it's okay to actually like to ask. It's okay to ask for money. It's okay to have money. It's light and it's fun, and you can go so much further when you have money. And it's just a choice. There's no right or wrong. This reality, the reason people veer away from money so much is that if I drive up in a, I don't know, a 5 Series BMW, people treat you different in this reality when you have money, and they treat you less when you don't. Whereas that's just not in my world, you know. I treat the cleaner in here tonight the same as I do the guy who owns the company. For me, they're both individuals. I can have a conversation with a multi-millionaire and have the same conversation with someone sitting on the street corner. It's like, for me, this whole thing of proving that you're successful through money just was never real and true for me. So I think people push it away because there is so much judgment on having money. And what if the kind people that actually are changing the planet, and it does require money to deliver these programs out, you know, to get books generated. You do require money in your life, and what if you didn't make that wrong? Whether you have it or you don't, what if it's just as simple as actually choosing it?
It's just a choice.
Just a choice. It's no big deal tonight. The universe won't reject me if I go home tonight, don't generate money, don't pay my mortgage, and sleep on the streets tomorrow. The universe doesn't go, "I hate you." The universe is going to care for me no matter what. It's just a choice, and every choice creates your future. So today I would say to you tonight, what can you choose right now that can change your future in this 5 seconds? And what energy, space, and consciousness can your body be to generate money with total ease? I ask my abundant, magnificent universe to provide me with a multiplicity of ways to grow financially.
I like that, multiplicity of ways to grow financially.
Well, I asked that a year ago, and myself and Tom are creating 21st century business. John Collins and I have a natural skincare company. Corporate wellness is starting now with another.
John Collins actually has a question.
Oh, he loves this subject.
Who, John?
Yeah,
I know.
Tom
He's such a money man. I love it.
Myself and Tom were Skyping last night, or was it the night before? And John was like, "So guys, I see that you're putting in all this energy and the commitment you have to the program. How are you going to start making money right away?"
It's an amazing program. Can I just say this, people? Especially like I know you did one hangout on setting up a Google Hangout.
Yes.
And there's next hangout is on MailChimp, isn't it? I'm going to listen to the MailChimp one because I have a MailChimp set up, but I don't know how to do emails. I'm like Rachel. We're like, you know, I'm like, give me your phone number and I'll call you. I don't send emails. But you're right, Tom. Like, in order for you to get out there and be seen and your business be seen, you require certain things like a website and, you know, newsletters and things like that, and keep track of, like, I teach loads of people bars and I don't have their email accounts or email, I don't have databases, nothing. So it's like there is certain things required, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because otherwise you keep on doing things, you know, in an automated way. And so what if you could make it easier on yourself and just automate it? You know, if you have all the email addresses in one place, you can just, you know, send out an email to all of them in one go. Saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of pressure. Yeah. So absolutely.
Exactly. And if you're asking for money to come to you and you're asking money to have your back, money has no way of coming to you.
Exactly.
Because you're not actually willing to be seen, or you're not reachable, you're not findable.
Exactly.
Nobody can find you. So how are your clients meant to find you? Yeah. Rach, I have a question here from John as well. You put it on Facebook. Did you see that, or do you want me to call it out?
You can read it out.
Hello?
Hi,
Did
you
we
can
lose
read.
her? Okay. You're frozen. Your screen is frozen. Oh, you're back. So it says, the biggest issue I find is when creating money in business is family pulling me back into their fears and restrictions of what is best. Oh, he said, what's the best way of dealing with this? So, okay, so he finds his family pulling him back with fears and restrictions when it comes to money and business.
Don't buy.
So what's the best way of dealing with this?
Do not buy any of the thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and emotions of your family around money. That is something that's going to cost you. You have got to get to a place that you are aware that if you take on one person's point of view around money, which could be don't do that because it costs too much money. When I was training as a personal trainer in 2004, my mom, who's gorgeous, but you know, she has her programming too, said, how are you going to afford to do it? At the time, that course was €3,000. Now, if I had chosen to take on my mother's point of views, Gary talks about if you have unawareness for 60 seconds, it can cause pain and suffering for years. If I had chosen to take on that point of view, right, my fitness degree, my personal training, and my Pilates has made me 100 times that money. I'm talking probably even more. So if I had taken on that one point of view from my mother, I would not actually have created what I've created today. You've got to run interesting point of view, particularly around your family, because they know how to pull you back. And how uncomfortable is it for you when you generate so much more money than anyone in your family? Like, you've got to get that. For me, as a little girl, my mother didn't have a lot of money, and there was some kind of the only word that I can look at is there was some kind of connect with my mom when I had only €20 in my wallet. Because like, oh, it was like, oh, sure, I have €20 now. And that was weird. And it was like, are you actually aligning and agreeing with your culture's point of view, or with your mother's point of view, or with your father's point of view? And we're not making them wrong, but you've got to be aware that we're all programmed like a crappy computer. If your life isn't working for you and there's a load of dodgy programs in it, then the chances are that something in there that you've bought as real and true isn't. So it's not you're making them wrong or right, it's that you're going, wow, everything in life is just an interesting point of view. And for me, I prefer to have Richard Branson's point of view personally than most of my family's points of views. Not maybe they just haven't been shown that. I'd much rather, like, have you heard Richard Branson talking about money and business? He's like, it's everywhere. You just develop strategies in order to receive it.
That's interesting, because I remember when talking to my mother as well and wanting to do yoga training, and you know, it's $3,000 as well, or euro, whatever. And anytime I'd mention, she'd be like, "Oh, it's so much money," you know. And I used to be like, I don't think it's so much money. But then when someone reacts that way, it's very easy to just go, "Yeah, I know it's a lot of money," but the value of it, like you said, is so much more. It's like we do these classes in Access, and people are like, "Oh, these classes are so expensive." Do you realize what I've created since I started up Access? Like, do you realize what's changed in my life, in my body, everything? Like, there's no price I can put on that.
And to Tom and you, would you like to be cheap for the rest of your life? Because I was so cheap. Or would you actually like to be expensive? This is so crazy. I have just had an email. I have to tell you this. I have just had an email in going, follow Richard Branson on Twitter, and it's a piece about Richard Branson saying, when you look after, on my life to God, it has just come into my email right now, and what Richard Branson says is, when you look after and honor the people that you work with, it always creates more for business. I've just had it come into my email while I'm on the
Send it to us. That's amazing.
Awesome.
So in future, when your mother starts talking, oh man, I'm gonna go listen to Richard Branson. My new family.
To John Collins in future, if his dad is like, no, don't do that training or that costs too much, be like, just sit there and expand out and look at money being everywhere in the world and be like, I can take on that point of view, or I can choose to have Richard Branson's point of view.
And I always remember you, Rach, saying to me as well when we first started Access, and like, I had no money whatsoever. And I used to be like, Rach, how am I going to get the money for these classes? And you used to be like, Amy, you know, you're choosing these classes, you're choosing to go, you're choosing to create consciousness, and you're choosing a more conscious world. Why wouldn't the universe pay you for that? I always remember you saying that to me, and I was like, yeah, why wouldn't the universe pay me for that? You know, people use money all the time for different things. Why wouldn't the universe give me money to actually create a greater world and to actually have more kindness for me? And like, whenever I chose something, I always created the money, and it always showed up all the time.
Well, what's the biggest contribution?
Only time it ever didn't show up. Sorry?
What's the biggest contribution to the planet? A joyful expression of life and living? Is that what creates change on our planet? Yeah. Onto Earth, onto the cedars of the trees? A joyful expression of life and living? And for what reason would my planet support me with opportunities to actually, like, encompass that growth and that joy? Like, for what reason? Like, our planet is not like a parent said, you can't have that because it costs too much. Our planet is like, hey, what is it you'd like? What is it like that you would like to create? How can I support you in that? Because then our Earth gets happy. And I'm not sure about you guys, but there is a lot of work to do in this area.
Oh my God. That's funny though, because you said, like, asking the universe, you know, the universe asking us, what would you like to create? And I see it so much because I host a lot of classes, and I see people, you know, the way I was at the start when I first started taking classes, like the money, it's always the money. Oh my God, they want to take the class, but the money, there's so much money, I'll never be able to afford that. And it's like I see the separation they create, that they don't believe that the universe would actually give them that. It's the separation they put between them and the money.
And they're not wrong, because whoever has said, like, you know, who here grew up like with people that were like, oh, you'd like to create that. Let us sit down and have a look at what we can actually create in order for that to be possible. it was always like, no, you can't do that. How am I going to pay for it? How is that going to be possible? Like, what we're creating here, you, Tom, me, is a place where we sit down and we're like, hey, we'd like to create more money from joy and ease. Our primary money is not my primary target. For me, my target is having friendships that support my expansion and my growth and my happiness in my life. That is my target. I received a gift of life from this planet. And in order for me to receive that as a gift, then I require people to support me, to care for me, to nurture me, and to support my growth. And when I have that, I can do that then for tons of other people.
Yeah, because when you have it for you, then you can be it for other people. But if you're not being it for yourself, then you can't be it for anyone else.
Yeah.
Like Jane said, being you, changing the world.
Exactly. And, just ask, can I get the money now, please, universe?
Rach, will you talk about something, the difference between you said there we're always going to ask for more, we're always going to look for more, like we're always going to look for more, and yeah, it's more money, but also more, like we're like the seekers of more, we're the dreamers of the world, we're always going to be creating and looking for more. So what's the difference between always like asking for more money and never having enough?
So if you were to ask for more of one thing, so first I'm going to ask Tom. Tom, if you were to ask for more of one thing tonight, what would it be?
I would say joy.
Amy, if you were to ask for more of one thing tonight, what would it be?
If I would ask to be, I would like to do more of what I love to create and receive more money for it. I would like to have that be my primary, like that to make up most of my day. Do you get me?
Yes, so what energy, space, and consciousness can me and my body be to be the creator that I truly be, to be the joy that I truly be? Now, what is required in order for that to show up? Where are the people that are willing to be that joy? How do I find them? Where are the people that are willing to support me? Where are the people that are willing to support my body? Where are the people that are, when I got into a relationship, I'm in a kind, nurturing relationship. In fact, I have lots of kind, nurturing relationships right now. And that was one of my, is this person willing to have money? Because for me, I'm not willing to work with people who aren't willing to have money, because it creates so much contraction and limitation. Is this person willing to create? So when you buy the principle, I'm not enough or I don't have enough, is that light or heavy?
Heavy.
Heavy.
Whereas right now, I have more than enough for today. 3 of us on the call. Have you more than enough for today? Right now in this 5 seconds.
Yes.
Have
Yes.
you everything that you require?
Yes.
So now, for my future to be like what I would like my life to live like, that could be to wake up in an amazing space, a gorgeous bed that supports my body, to go for body work, to travel. That actually is going to require money. So for me, right now, the figure on my bank account, I'm so grateful for it and I acknowledge it. And what would it take for more of that to show up so that I can connect with more people? I like to pay people when they work for me. It's not fun for me at all. So that's one of my inspirations. The more that I can create, then I can look after the people that work with me, which I like to do. That is fun for me. I love to look after my children. My son is going to Italy this week, or his school tour was this week. I do like to actually show them a greater possibility.
So, Rach, when you're asking questions like where the people are willing to support me, are you just asking the question and leaving it in the universe and seeing what shows up, or are you actually like getting awarenesses as you ask the questions?
Okay, can I talk to you about one thing that actually totally limits people? Time.
Oh, yeah.
If you put time as a limitation, when you ask, I don't care if I'm 100 and I get to where I'd like to be at. It's like every single day. I was out for a walk today and we were looking at a beautiful place to live, myself and John. And right now we're not where we'd like to be. We are so grateful for what we have right now, and we would like to create more. Okay? Right now, what we have, we are grateful for, and we would like to create more travel, lovely place to live. Same with Tom. He's looking to do more traveling, work with more people to help them get out there. He sees amazing people in the world, and he'd like to provide the avenue that they can actually be seen. So we're always looking for more, and what is it we're looking for? So what is it that you're looking for?
Abundance, ease, just joyful, kind, nurturing world. And I
Yeah,
require my environment around me to be kind and nurturing.
and in this reality, that actually requires you to create and set
Mhm.
up places where you can receive money. That's the more. That's the more when who likes to see their friend in a job that they don't like that's not working for their body.
Did you know that's not working for my body? You see, this is the tricky thing because this is what I'm seeing happen. It's like where you cut off your body and your being in for money because it's like, oh, I make good money there, like on a Saturday night I could make Friday, Saturday night I make good money. Someone else in this reality would tell you it's good money, but yet your body isn't happy there, your being isn't happy there, and you cut off yourself for money.
Yeah, you take yourself out of existence. The
Existence.
minute that you take away your knowing, you take you out of existence and you cease to be.
We
And
cease to be, yeah.
when you're in someone else's thoughts about money, ideas about money, beliefs about money, which I still can go into. I had a couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks, that I totally got caught up in someone's ideas, beliefs, and emotions. And I came out of it, and it didn't matter because no matter what, I saw it all as an interesting point of view.
Mm.
And it's like what could today be like, hey body, I know this is not where you'd like to be, and Tom is in a job at the moment that he's looking at changing as well. I know you're not where you'd like to be. I am taking steps and making choices that is going to create a greater possibility.
Yeah, and that's what I've been asking for this week. Like I asked, there's a crazy possible experiment thing going on Facebook. It's amazing. And I put in that asked for what would it take and what action do I have to take to have me and my business be seen. Like to have, because in order to have clients you have to be seen, right? You have to be, people have to find you. And also, where are these people? Where are they? Where do I have to go? You used to ask that question a lot, Rach. You used to go to SuperValue.
Exactly.
She's asked, where will I go to meet my clients? You should go to SuperValue and she'd pick up about 5 clients in the shop.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Everywhere. So just a little tag on that. Corey Michelle, who has created this Crazy Possibilities group on Facebook, and it's like a worldwide movement. You can go there and check it out. It's amazing. Come join my How to Become Money workbook classes.
Oh, yeah.
There's another 10-week call starting the 1st of November. What if you were to choose to give you a greater possibility? And what choice can you choose today that would allow your body to actually be at ease?
And that How to Become Money call, I had just registered for it and I was promoting it for you, and you rang me like a week before the call and you were like, oh, you're all happy. You're like, has the money class started for you yet? And I was like, no. And then I was like, it hasn't started. And then I started to look at it and I was like, has my money changed? The next thing I realized that in 2 days I created $700. Like at work I created it, but I also created really a lot of ease. like a lot of ease. We had this event that happened that didn't require a lot of work, which is really unusual, and we got paid a lot of money for it. And I was like, oh, Rach, it has started. I just created $700 in 2 days. You're like, no. So like the money for the call, I don't know, like, because I've heard people say, oh, they don't want to do they want to do these calls, but I don't have the money. But yet you choose first, and then the money will come. So I chose the money call, and before even the money call started, money was coming.
Yeah. So what if you would, people are using money as an excuse to stop themselves from choosing, right? So what if you stopped using money as an excuse to make choices? What would that create in your world? Because I see that so often, people say, oh, I don't have the money, or how am I going to get the money? And then they don't choose.
Yeah, they wait until the money comes to choose, but the money will never come. You have to choose first.
Exactly.
The biggest trick.
Exactly.
And what if money wasn't a prerequisite to choice?
Mm-hmm.
What choice creates?
Yeah.
Totally. Thank you, Rach. This is cool. I love hanging out with you.
Thanks for hosting the Hangout, and thanks for Tom. We'll be on next week doing that MailChimp. So thanks a million for being here. And
your second call is next Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Next Saturday,
yeah. That's going to be really, really good. Looking forward to that.
What else is possible with money beyond anything that we have ever known?
How does it get any better? Thanks, Rach. And your call starting November.
November 1st, 8-week money call. And I have a class in Netherlands date. I cannot remember. I think it's the
24th. The 24th of October.
And then one in Germany in November as well. See, I just will keep creating and everything will show up and everything will work. How does it get any better?
Thanks, Rach.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.